Okay, Coleman, you're down here in Atlanta, well, McDonough, doing some recruiting. You're turning over all the stones, looking for Tar
Yeah.
Heels. This event, you've been coming to this event ever since you were kind of like
Couple
in
years,
limbo,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Remember,
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
the
for
head
sure.
coach, but we couldn't
For
announce
sure,
it.
yeah.
It was crazy.
Yep.
So now you're here, you're doing recruiting. What do you think of the C3 event when you come here and you're doing recruiting, and what are the Tar Heels looking for?
It's an awesome event. It's a way for us to get in one spot with a bunch of good kids. It's not us going out individually, going to these camps, going to these tournaments, whatever. They're sort of all here, and Cliff does an awesome job of putting on the workouts. We're just here to support, and of course us being close geographically to Georgia. We need to make sure that if there's a kid we want, we can't just pop in and think we're going to get every kid we want. So you got to be around. You got to be, your face be seen, and there is a lot of good kids in this area, and we need to make sure that we're maximizing that and giving them an opportunity to prove them at the next level. We have a couple Georgia kids on our team and compound kids, so it's a good time. It's a fun event.
When I talk to coaches all across the country, I talk to all levels, all divisions. My biggest thing is, how do you recruit? Do you recruit weights, or do you just get the best guys? You were the best guy in Pennsylvania. You went to Oklahoma State. They do a great job of cherry picking from PA, I gotta say. They do a really good job.
They have.
And they just get the best guys.
Yeah.
It's not like we need a 33. We just want the best guys, right? What do you do? What's your philosophy on that?
I think we get the best guys for us. We look at weights. Sometimes, I'm not going to I'm not at a point, or ever, maybe never will be, but just keep recruiting on top of recruits on top of recruits, So what I look at is, I want a kid it's a good character kid that works his butt off. I always feel like we can teach skill. We can teach these guys to get better at wrestling. It's hard to teach desire. It's hard to teach heart. It's hard to teach will. That stuff is inside of you. So seeing a kid that just has a little bit of that, has that X factor, that's what we really look for. And a kid that fits us. We're a family type program. We're tight knit. I want that. I don't want anybody coming in and buck the system. And character's our number one thing when we're looking at a kid. If a kid's got bad character, if I follow him on social media and it's a bunch of cuss words and all this and that, he's out. Not saying we can't change him, but it's just why don't you limit the risk at the beginning, So I think we look for the best kid that fits us, academically a good kid, great character, and somebody that fits our mold.
How quick is it apparent to you that if someone is or is not the mold of Coleman Scott in North Carolina?
You can usually tell just by talking to them, by talking to their parents, talking to their coaches, their club coaches, their friends, doing a lot of homework. It's really how they present themselves on the mat, tells a lot. And I want a kid that competes hard, competes hard and might make a few mistakes, always fix mistakes, but a kid that goes out there and lays it on the line every single time they step out, but you can tell them pretty quick, just get to know the kid, talk to him, ask him about stuff outside of wrestling, what he does here, and really get to know a kid deep down.
Kids are different today. They got their faces buried in their phone a lot.
Oh,
yeah. Is that something where you're like, this kid's into his phone too much, this guy's into the device too much? Is that something where you're factoring in, or are kids?
I don't like it. I didn't come from that generation, because I didn't have a cell phone until pretty much college, and it wasn't a smartphone until later on. And, I've got to keep up with my phone just because they do, But I tell these kids, we go on trips and stuff, I'm not afraid to take all their phones and put them in a bag, turn them off, and hey, you'll get your phone back when we get back on when we're done wrestling. Because it just limits distractions, look at the social media, what it does to somebody. I think it can really hinder a kid's performance just by what they read, what they tweet. They need to live up to this, they need to live up to that. They're putting an unneeded pressure on themselves, right? For what reason? To this day, I don't really have very many original tweets. I look at it and, it's not me. I'm just more of a old school generation, and I stick to that, But it wouldn't deter me too much, because I can control a little bit of that once you get to school, and of course, academically, if that takes care of a lot of it. If you got to take care of the classroom. And you're not going to do that by playing video games all the time and on your cell phone all the time. And so we see where you're at there, and it really relates well to what you're doing outside the room.
Chapel Hill and UNC is such an easy sell. Like, if you're telling me about it, if you just get a guy on campus, is it like we're gonna get him?
It's not easy. I mean, it depends on who you're recruiting. If you're recruiting the #1 kid in the country, there's times you go up against Penn State, Oklahoma State. It's still not easy. They're winning national titles. They're the most historic programs. But yes, the Chapel Hill is beautiful. We got I believe one of the best campuses in the country. One of the top public schools in the country. And it's a state school, and geographically, I believe some of the best weather is in North Carolina. We've got the beach 2 hours, the mountains 3 hours. We've got our 4 seasons with a very mild winter. I'm not a guy that likes snow, so it's great for me. So getting them there, yeah, it's once I can get you there, I think we have a young staff, a great staff that can really relate well to the kids and show them our biggest assets, which is our university.